Cordelia takes Corvilius and Lesya back to the Temple of Mechanus, where she can use her position to gain access to hidden information. There they meet gnome lore master Winston Babelwoke, who brings them to a hidden tome that tells of the false gods. Coyly acknowledging Cordelia's true identity, he directs them to a group who still worship the old gods, known as the Last of the Faithful. Meanwhile, Zero and Ace find their way through the sewers to Gaston Lagrange, who reveals that they are in fact the reincarnation of the old gods through the use of what he calls a godstone. In exchange for a favor, Lagrange promises to have his network help the new gods and directs them to Sister Holden in the Last of the Faithful. Comparing notes, the risen gods venture forth with Corson and Trini to find Sister Holden. Finding a trapdoor under a broken building, they make their way down a dark tunnel. Suddenly, thousands of tiny godstones embedded in the wall alight and create the image of a familiar man. None of them recognize him until a voice calls from behind them, identifying the image as the god of the sun and herself as Sister Holden. The sister takes them to a connected sewer where the body of the young man is lashed to a plank of wood hanging from the ceiling. A sign attached to him reads, "The sun is fallen."
Oh.
I don't like any of this. This is creepy and weird, and I got my hand on my sword what's going on? Is he okay?
Could you explain, please?
We haven't been able to get him down. And you see her head,
What?
tip down.
At the body? The hanging body?
Yeah, she lowers her head, she lowers her eyes to not look at it. This is the reincarnation, the risen Sephor, killed.
The extra guy?
He has other names.
Right. What?
He is the god of the sun.
The sun has fallen. Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Who killed him?
What? If
The
he's a
church.
god, how did
You are,
gods can die? I guess.
well,
We're mortal
that's
right
how we
now.
got into this situation in the
Yeah,
first
really.
place.
I'm not a theologist.
They died once, didn't they?
I look at her and I'm just like, can whoever kill the god become a god?
We have tried to research that.
Please stop
But-
researching that.
I was told by an elf that it's a possibility.
Were you told it in jest, or were you told it...
Yes, what were you told?
It was partly jest, most likely, but
Partly jest, but I kind of believe him though, because he had no reason to lie. Nothing to gain from lying to us.
if he was jesting, then it wouldn't be a lie.
It may have just been a joke, but it's a possibility we can't ignore. We've looked into the possibility of the gods' powers being stolen, but if we don't know it, it's my dearest hope that the current church does not as well. However, you are the oldest I've seen the risen be in a long time. She kind of gestures to Corvin in her arms. The church has been slaughtering your forms. You probably have been killed yourselves multiple times, without memory of it.
Whoa.
Probably for the best.
So if this guy's dead, I point at Sephora over here.
Sephor.
Yeah, that's what I said. If this person's dead, does that mean that there's some other sun god somewhere else running around?
He will be reborn again, if he has not already. And
So-
he will refuse to not shine. He must be found before he can be snuffed out again. The sun must shine on this darkened world.
Next one, so I can't really see the sun anymore, huh?
And so we need you.
Why do they keep killing the gods? Wouldn't it be better for them to just imprison us?
You will grow in power. How can one imprison a god?
And they don't want us. They don't want people ever knowing that we exist. Remember,
But
we're
if
called
we
false
keep
gods.
getting reincarnated and they keep killing us, we're just gonna keep coming back.
You'll come back in your weakest form.
Oh, okay. So they're keeping us as like recruits instead of letting us get up to be like generals. I got it.
They're keeping us at commoner before we can even get to recruit.
Exactly.
And now that, as a defense, your powers are developing earlier in life, normally it would only start to appear. Your godling abilities would only start to appear in adolescence. It's appearing earlier and earlier.
But that also means that they can find us earlier and earlier.
Slaughter you as children. It seems perhaps you found some wisdom in your ethereal forms before you took mortal flesh again, and chose to hold back your powers from yourselves, and age first, grow first. Which means you're the only ones who can protect the new risen.
Are you, when you say the last of the people, are you literally the last one, or are there other people?
There are others.
Okay.
Not many, but there are others.
So it should be more like the last couple of us, not just the last. But
The
anyway.
last of the faithful, meaning our group of faithful are the last.
No, I got it.
I have a quick question. How long until a baby gets born after being killed so many times with God powers just absolutely just blows up half a town unknowingly?
I have never considered such
I
a horrible
stare
thought.
at him. Is there something you're not telling us?
Well, she's saying that our powers are developing earlier in age because they keep killing us as a defense mechanism.
Meaning you're activating, you're revealing yourselves earlier, so you're developing quicker. If this child, and she gestures to Corvin, if he were to just grow, by the time he reached adolescence, he would be a full god.
Pretty popular at school.
Or very dangerous as a child.
That's a very dangerous tantrum.
We need to bring these children to us so they can be raised properly. They can be raised understanding what they are, not scared and alone in the world, not slaughtered by animals or turned into monsters because they fear for their lives. Imagine what would happen to a god that was a scared child.
They would lash out.
I have one other question. Would protecting these kids and saving them be something the council would be against?
Very much so. The council wishes to continue to control with their false gods.
Then I'm in.
I also look at her and go, how many of us are there?
She looks around and goes, I count 5.
Wait, we're the only ones who live?
Have lived? Well, she then turns to look at the body hanging there. He made it the longest.
Okay, Bryan, how is he strung up? Like,
He is basically lashed to this board upside down in chains, being hanged from the ceiling, his head submerged underwater. You get the feeling he was drowned.
Why is his body still up there?
We could not get him down.
What's the state of the body?
It's decaying, but it's
Ew.
probably been up there for a couple days, week, maybe.
More or less, is there a lock I can pick to get him off? Or is
Well,
there something
no,
I
he's
can
dead,
break?
man.
He's like nailed to it. He's not he's chained and nailed, not so much locked. Think crucifixion style more than anything else.
But he was drowned, you said. Upside down.
Upside down.
So basically, he's attached to a board that's attached to a chain going up to some sort of ceiling, right?
Great.
A grate in the ceiling. And you do see that water trickles down from the grate every now and then.
What are we beneath right now?
There's a cistern above us.
I'm going to try to actually get him off, just because I don't like this. So I'm going to I try to get him off the plank and everything and get him out of the water so they can properly bury him.
To get to him, you need to wade through about 3 foot deep water, about 10 feet into it's a 10-foot radius.
Oh, 10-foot radius of water, that's why he's still there.
What if
That's why they can't really get to him. It's not
Question.
like he's hanging above a small bucket.
Question.
Yes,
If I
yes.
used Thunderwave to knock him back 10 feet,
Please.
He would start swinging, and it would be very morbid.
but you could get him down. Ew, yeah, never mind. No, if he's been hanging upside down in water...
As I try to figure this out, I look at it, I kind of hold out my hand, like, just not realizing what I'm doing, and I looking to just want to help the body and everything, and I cast Entangled.
Alright. What is your goal with it?
My goal is to literally get a vine, wrap it, I guess, around the chain or something like that, because it doesn't range of 90 feet. So literally just have a vine that's basically at the edge of the thing to pull it closer so we can actually get him off.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Oh, and that's not horrible. That's an 18.
18? So you hold your hand out and you focus. You're trying to bend this spell to do something it's not usually meant to do.
Yeah.
And vines begin to sprout from the cistern above and crawl their way down the chain. They start to envelop the body. They envelop the plank of wood, and they move down into the water. The vines slip into the water and kind of spread out slightly, and you see the entire body be encased in the vines. And then flowers begin to bloom.
Aww.
Huh. Okay. I kind of just wanted to get the body for a burial, but that's also nice.
And you turn and Sister Holden is just smiling at you.
I did not know it was going to do that.
The
Actually,
wilds have reclaimed.
But I look at her and I'm just like, I just wanted to give the guy a nice burial. I was hoping to get him down, but I guess...
Well, your wish, combined with your divinity, has done just that.
Divinity.
You are gods. You are shaping the world around you.
Okay. I guess... I look at her, I'm like, I guess just make sure he gets a proper tombstone, I guess, or something? Just... I don't know. This is weird. Just happy to help, and I just stop blathering, and I just...
Oh.
I just put my hand on Ace's shoulder.
If you wish to save him, there might be a way. Follow me.
Alright, I follow her.
We follow.
And she takes you back the way you came. It's not like you turned off the path, you went down a couple steps and you're there. It was kind of like a 15-minute walk.
Ah.
She brings you back and walks you another direction through now twisting and winding paths. And you find yourself in an antechamber. She opens a door. And you enter, and it seems like a makeshift temple. There are a few people here, dressed in the same robes she's dressed in, praying at shrines, tending to injured, studying books, eating basic life things. But they all turn and see you, and as soon as they do, they drop to their knees.
They know.
I'm never gonna get used to that.
Yeah, that's very weird.
You will find your form of worship eventually. And she walks into the room.
Oh, my form of worship just be a nod and keep on moving.
Brother Michael, a man approaches. Please take...
Corvilius' form of worship is going to be blowing something up.
Oh.
I mean, I like the sound of that one too.
Brother Michael, please take Helios to be cared for. His mortal mother will wish to be with him. The brother takes the baby and nods to her.
Be good to that baby.
Sister Holden laughs. He's a god. Of course we will. However...
But he's also someone's baby.
Not for long.
What?
What?
Your mortal lives are over. Your friends, your loves, they're going to wither and die. Long before you, hopefully. You are to become immortals. And while we hope and pray that you will continue to love us, we understand that you will grow to view us differently. His mother will see him grow, but never see him as a mortal man. That is what the church has taken from him.
But I still think she'll still love him.
She will. I'm merely stating that.
Okay, so
Just to be clear, in a practical sense, you're not taking him away from her, right?
Not precisely, but because he is a god, and will never be anything but. He needs to be raised particularly.
What exactly do you mean by that?
This is difficult to explain.
Start explaining.
If he were to be raised the way a normal child were raised, to love his mother above all else, a god who is willing to sacrifice anything to keep a mortal woman alive for a few years more, could destroy our world. A child's love is unconditional. A child's love with the power of a god is deadly, destructive. There needs to be a balance.
So wouldn't it be better to raise him smart?
But because his powers have shown themselves early, he can't. Is what you're saying.
You're able to think as mortals because you have lived as mortals. You can balance goods and evils in this world. A child cannot.
I don't feel any different than I did yesterday.
Say that in 500 years. Say that when your power has grown to the point where you can create thunderstorms with the snap of your fingers.
I mean, at that point, I guess I should pick a girlfriend that's an elf.
Or a god.
I'm not.
I don't think...
You realize you are talking to an elf when you say that, right?
I still don't.
The god of chaos just kind of came onto the head priestess a little bit.
That was an accident. That was not
No,
intentional.
that's good. I like that.
She blushes
That's
a little when she
fine.
says that. So
That's
Aw,
fine.
that's
I
cute.
just said that. I just said that as a joke, but then I realized, oh shit. Oh well.
I don't know. I'm not a theologian. I just.
You say
I
that a
don't think
lot.
you should.
I think this God thing is getting to you.
I've seen a lot of weird shit over the past couple of hours, and
Like
I'm
the
just
process.
saying, just be kind to Trini. She's had a rough. You think we've had it rough? She's had it worse.
she is
So don't
holy.
go ripping her child out of her arms right now. Is what I'm
No,
saying.
no, we have no intention of doing so. We feel there's a limitation that needs to be placed on this.
They don't want it growing up to have an unconditional love for his mom.
I don't know a single person who does that, but
Or at least unconditional love for a single person.
Correct.
True.
again, that's why. Whatever. This is.
It's
He's her kid.
complicated.
He's her kid.
That's where it gets complicated.
No, but I don't think it's right to be ripping someone's kid away from them. That's all I'm saying.
Then you might find the request I'm about to make very difficult.
I'm not killing her.
You want us to go save the? You want us to save the new gods?
Sephor has been reborn. We know he has. We don't know where he is. We have narrowed it down to the district of miscreants. We know that he was reborn. We don't know if he's reborn as a he or a she. We don't know when this was. But it had to have been within the last week.
Alright.
You're looking for a baby. Born within the past week to 2 weeks.
But if we find the child, and if we do, how can they be taken care of if they're that young? Without the mother?
We have means. We have methods.
One moment. I want to pull them over to an aside.
just I'm just like, so you said the district of miscreants. Okay.
I don't. I would be
Think
fine.
about this. You gotta think about it this way. If we don't find the baby, the Inquisitors and Church and Council goes up and kills the baby.
Well, how the hell are they fine? Are they just killing all the babies? How do they know?
I'm guessing they
a
get
good
their
system.
hints from the baby showing their powers, like what's his name again?
Corson.
Where? How?
Like Corson did.
Out of character. There's no hospitals here.
No,
Horsens.
how on earth could they ever locate a god?
I don't know.
The stone.
Oh. I think you're also smart.
So we have the means of finding where another god is. We just need to be careful, especially with the light.
Yeah, that's the thing. We can't actually use the god detector.
Because it'll light up around us.
Yeah.
Because it's literally just gonna light up for us. Actually, that's a good question. How would we even find him?
We could look for the baby giving signs.
We can't use the god stone.
We could look for the baby itself giving signs. Like Corbin.
I mean, it is the
Corson.
son of... is the god of
God
the
of
sun,
sun.
so there has to be some way of finding.
Look for the shiniest baby.
In the district of miscreants, it's not just a bunch of people living on the street. There are people who have, there's shanties, basically.
Yeah, you would find them in, like, Beggar's Row.
Oh boy.
So we have to be careful there.
In my head, I realize that, but I'm also going to let her finish, and, like, Ace is going... Like, Ace is extra quiet after a lot of this conversation. Like, he's kind of staring back at the sun, the plant growth sun god right now. And,
Well,
like...
you're nowhere near that. I'm guessing
Oh.
you're just kind of looking in that direction, thinking about it.
Thinking about it, feeling some sort of, like, weird feeling of, like, familiarity towards it. Not sure why, but he, like, felt a little bit of, like, anger for someone that he's never met before, and he doesn't understand why.
Yeah, could I make an insight check on him being so quiet?
Go ahead.
That would be a 17 insight. I mean, you are the one that just showed your powers, too.
He looks like he's deep in thought, pondering something that I'm gonna say you probably noticed as soon as the whole thing got brought up of, like, unconditional love and everything. From that point on, that's when he kind of started drifting. You can't tell specifically why, but no, I will say you did notice from that point on, his mannerisms changed a little. Like, basically it was very, like, carefree, and then it kind of just, like, got a little more rigid and, like, a lot more thinking going on than, not to say he doesn't think, but you can tell something is bothering him right now.
I put my hand on your shoulder.
He kind of jerks a little, not realizing, like, oh yeah, I spaced out.
Are you alright?
I'm fine. I'll be fine.
Okay, Lesya notices none of this because she's still, like, not cool with, you want me to take a baby away from its mother, and you're saying because it's bad for them to love somebody.
No, we're
And
saying
I'm
that
I'm
because
not on board with that.
The thing is, if we don't,
they're gonna kill it.
they're gonna find it and
Right.
kill the child.
I got that. But I don't think it should be like, oh, we're gonna sneak into their house and, like, steal their baby. Like, no, like, their parents should know what's going on and ideally should come with us because, for better or worse, they're not gonna believe us. They're not gonna want to give up their baby. They might, like, I don't think...
I stop the conversation for a second. I look at them. Tell me if I'm wrong about this, Bryan, so just so I know. Baker's Row, I'm not going to say is basically, one, the best place to raise kids, which I would say that, but two, also, I'm not sure, like, how good parents are, like, considering, like, anyone will stab someone else in the back, so I don't know if I'm going to assume there's a possibility that basically we could easily buy the kid off the parent
we could buy
and,
the
like,
kid.
literally, like, no one would
Very easy
care.
buy the kid.
No, that could certainly happen, but I'm saying we've seen Trini be like, no, don't take my fucking baby. Like, she clearly cares a lot about her baby.
She also wasn't raised in Baker's Alley.
No, I know, but I'm saying if there's someone, like, you don't know, just because they're poor as dirt doesn't mean that they're gonna sell their baby to us. And I think that if they want to know more about what's going on and they want to, I think they should be entitled to come and meet the people who are taking their baby and understand what's going on.
But how about this? How about we find the child, see where he's at, and then we can make whatever decision we're going to,
All right.
because there's a lot of conflicting
I'm not
emotions.
saying we're not going to do it. I'm not saying we're not going to try and save this baby's life. I'm just saying don't ask me to sneak into someone's house in the dead of night and steal someone's baby, which is what it sounds like I'm being asked to do.
And you can leave that to me.
Well, and don't give me the excuse of, well, because unconditional love is bad.
I mean, I love my parents very much. I would not be the person I am today without them. But this is more important. And they will have love. It'll just be from a different source.
I'm glad you think it's more important, but I'm not prepared to make that decision for somebody else. And I'll leave it at that. And I, like, brush my hands off, and I just, like, walk away.
Can I ask, Sister Holden?
Yes.
Was, Oros always so,
Outspoken?
Yes.
The god of sound.
That would be, yes.
Right.
She will always be heard. Not that that's a bad thing.
No.
I also kind of look at her and I, like, out of curiosity,
Yes.
what was the relationship between the wild and the sun?
Sephora was your grandfather.
Did I ever have brothers? Sisters, maybe?
You were an only child.
Yeah.
You were born of Wudea, god of plants, and Akars, god of dreams.
Sister Holden. What exactly is the God of Chaos known for? What can he do?
God of Chaos, you are the outlier, the wild card, that bit of our fate that is not under control. You can change the odds for anyone. There's no such thing as a sure thing when you're involved.
Okay. You have any idea what powers he might have been capable of doing? I recently learned that I can set people on fire when they hit me.
You are able to manipulate the folds of reality. Well, you will be able to manipulate the folds of reality. A little bit of a trickster. You made sure that none of the other gods got to become more than they should be. Kept everyone in check, so to speak.
Okay. That's interesting. Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
About that elf thing, I'm sorry, slip of the tongue there.
It's quite alright. And you see her blush a little bit again.
Wait, you slipped her the tongue?
I said slip of the tongue. Jesus Christ.
Ace kind of just looks at her and just asks a quick question of, what about the rest of us? Because I know most of us have no idea what we're capable of, and I need to know. I'm kind of scared, and I need to know.
There is not much that I can tell you about yourselves as gods, because you have yet to determine what kind of god you will be. Your powers will develop and change as you do. She gestures back the way you came. Creating the living tomb for that version of Sephora. That was not something the God of the Wilds has ever done before. You thought differently, manipulated the wilds within civilization to do what needed to be done, to do what you believed needed to be done. Your powers will respond to what you want as long as you have the will to do so. What you can do and what you will be able to do, I can take guesses, but they are but guesses. I know the God of Chaos is a wild card. I know the God of the Wilds gets their power from the beasts and the ravages of nature. I know the God of Sound can be heard. I know the God of Knowledge will know all. I know the God of Invention will create things that this world has never seen.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
But specifics, these I cannot give you. To be fair, she turns to you, Corvilius. This world that we live in currently is a bastardization of the things you had given us. The church has taken what you gave us and made it horrific. But these tools, these inventions are yours.
Yeah, we'll see if we can fix that.
An appropriate point of words.
Corvilius has a goal now.
Big boom. Big boom.
It involves fire.
So we're gonna take that church that's there, and then it's not gonna be there anymore.
No, it'll still be there. It'll just look different.
Flatter.
What about me? Do I have any family?
Yes, actually. She turns and looks at Cordelia. This would be your mother.
Mom! And I hug your leg.
Ace bursts out laughing.
Awkward. Awkward pat to the top of your head.
Oh my god.
While this comfortable scene is happening, Sister Holden is going to turn away from you guys and walk over to where Lesya is. I understand your apprehension at this idea. These children are not going to be able to get what they need from their parents alone. To be as powerful as they are, they need... This is something of a... It takes a village. And your voice is going to be the strongest. They're going to need to see what they can become and what their actions and decisions will do. We need you to help raise them, to protect them, to show them what they are to be. I understand that you do not approve of our methods, but they're all we have. We cannot, and you see tears start to fall down her cheeks. We cannot lose another. I have lost so many children, so many of my gods. I have seen them die again and again, and I do not wish to lose any more.
So you can worship them? So you can put them on a pedestal from afar and bow to them from afar? That's
So
no
they
way to
can
live.
save us. We need you to save us. This is no life. We cannot see the sun. They keep killing the sun.
I said I'll help save the kid. But I'm not gonna rip them out of a mother's hands.
Would you be willing to be those hands?
What?
I told you, this child is going to need other godlings to help raise it.
I'm not talking about the kid, I'm talking about the mother. Now you can tell me that this mother is poor and desperate and gonna sell us out to the first person who comes along, but maybe she's not.
I never made that claim.
Hmm.
I merely asked that the child be retrieved. I never said leave the mother behind. I never said kill anyone. I never said steal anyone. I just want the child retrieved. I leave the methods to you. You are the gods. You have more wisdom in this matter at how you wish this new pantheon to be.
I don't know about that. I'm not exactly the one who comes chock full of wisdom, but...
You shape what your godhood will be. You shape what your worship will be. The ways that were before are gone.
My worship is not going to be taking people who love each other and ripping them apart.
I never asked you to do that.
Well, maybe that's just what I heard.
I believe your companions, the other gods, mentioned the idea. I simply said that the mother cannot be the only one to raise the child. It will take a village. It will take a pantheon.
Alright, well, let's go find the sun.
I hope you do.
Thank you for joining us for this special edition of the Reliably Chaotic podcast. Rebirth is an original Dungeons & Dragons adventure written by Bryan Scharf, using the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition rules set published by Wizards of the Coast, and the God's Fall worldbook created by Aram Vartian of the God's Fall podcast. You can find Aram on Twitter at Vartian, Vartian, or by going to godsfall.com. My name is Bryan Scharf, and I've been your DM. You can reach me at ReliableDM on Twitter.
My name is Nicole Summers, and I played Cordelia, Patience Gunn.
This is Jair, also known as JJ, and I play the character of Zero.
Hey, this is Sara, and I play Lesya.
This is Matthew Reed, and I play Corvilius Picklewhip.
Hello, my name is Andrew Brown, and I play Ace.
The theme for this episode, Beyond the Known, was composed by Varansky and made available by neosounds.com. All other music by Kevin MacLeod on the Incompetech website and Adrian von Ziegler. Detailed information on music in this episode is provided in its description. Music for this episode was selected by Nicole Summers, and the episode was edited by Matthew Reed. Contact us on Twitter at Reliably Chaotic, email us at reliablychaotic@gmail.com, or join our Discord server by following the link in the episode description below. If you like us and want to support our show, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/reliablychaotic, or by leaving a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you again in our next adventure.